Are you looking for a fresh cut in Westerly? Step into Rio's Barber Shop in Granite Plaza. Whether it's a classic trim or a trendy new look, we've got you covered. Experience the perfect cut for every age and style in a friendly and relaxed atmosphere. At Rio's, it's not just a haircut, it's an experience. Visit Rio's Barber Shop in the Granite Plaza in Westerly or give us a call to schedule your appointment at 401-315-2208. Your style, our craft, Rio's Barber Shop.
Okay, hey, wow, we are on the air. You're listening to Sal and Ron, and what a sports report we got for you today. It's unbelievable. We're going to have some of the young ladies who played in the basketball state championship. Played all year, as a matter of fact. We're going to have them on with their coach, Mike Reyes, and it should be interesting. I have a lot of. I was just testing Coach. He's putting his coach hat on right now. Tell us a little bit of what's going on. You said you had a scrimmage yesterday.
Yeah, we for baseball. We this was our first week of tryouts. Even though we have about 22 players, so we didn't cut anybody, but we did kind of figure out our varsity roster and our JV roster. And usually on the last day of tryouts, we have a inter-squad scrimmage. So that went really well. I think we went about 5 innings, or maybe 6. Saw a lot of kids pitching. We got a lot of young arms. We only have 2 seniors, so there's a lot of positions up for grabs and some good competition going on. We got a nice competition going on for catcher. We'll have a little bit one for first base. We got outfield going on. We still unsure about when people pitch, who's playing short, third, second. So it's pretty much all a lot of question marks, but a lot of versatile players that can play multiple positions, and we have about 10 guys that can pitch. So anytime one of them has to, for starters, a pitcher, we got to move the defense around a little bit or plug somebody in, and need a lot of depth, especially in Division I. So
yeah.
I think we'll be all right. We just got to make sure we're making the routine plays on defense, and pitchers got to consistently throw strikes. So
that's the name of the game in high school, right? Even if you're in Division III, you got to throw strikes. Charahoe won a state championship just throwing strikes, not too much on the ball, but they did it. And I think you've probably got a good group of not only just players, but you got good coaches too. So I live not too far away from there. I never thought in a million years that on March 20th. I think it's the 20th. Yesterday, you'd be playing. But
yeah,
unbelievable.
I didn't think the field would be ready this week, and it was ready for Tuesday, and we were out there every day since, and the town did a great job. So it's it was dry, and it's great to get on a field.
It was dry, huh?
I'm sure. I'm sure there's some teams around the state that haven't got on a field yet. So it was with rain and everything, but it holds the rain pretty well like that. It poured on Monday, this past Monday, and the field was all right for Tuesday. So,
kudos to the maintenance athletic facilities group. I'm not sure who's heading it up. I know Gary Moreno.
Yeah, Gary and Mike Lamont working there.
Oh yeah, my buddy. Yeah,
he's one of the main guys.
Yeah, he's one of the guys, and I like Mike. So that's a key thing. You said you got 22 players. That's probably a little bit shorter than you have.
Yeah, we usually have 20, 23, 24 would be nice. If you have a lot of upperclassmen that are just varsity, you'd like to have more JV kids. It'd be nice to be almost totally separate. You're always going to have a few kids playing both, but our varsity roster is 16 players, so there's 6 guys that are just some younger guys that are just JV, and then we have a bunch, probably a handful, 5 or 6 on the varsity roster that will also play JV because they're younger. They're they're our backups or they're pitchers because we have 3 or 4 sophomore pitchers that are position players. We have Jackson Mankoff, who is in the mix at shortstop for us, but he's also a pitcher. He might, I don't know how much varsity he'll pitch yet. We'll figure it out. But all these guys that aren't pitching a lot for varsity. We got to get them pitching time somewhere. So that's where JV comes in. We have Kevin Saglio, who started like probably almost half the games in the outfield last year especially when Tom Fiore pitched, and he's a starter this year again especially when Tom pitches, but he'll still have to get some work in pitching in JV. So we have a good mix of players. We're only 2 seniors. We got I think 6 or 7 juniors. A good amount of sophomores and 2 freshmen on the varsity roster. So
you seem to have a good handle on it. When do you officially start, Ron?
This week coming up on Tuesday, we have a home scrimmage versus Wheeler.
Oh yeah, that's usually an annual thing, right?
And then on Friday we have another home scrimmage against Fitch, and then on Saturday we have the injury fund against Charahoe. So a week from today we have the injury fund against Charahoe, and then a week from Monday is our first real game against Coventry, and that's at home. So March 30th. It's coming quick.
Wow.
So yeah,
I know it's good. How many years now have you been?
So if you count the COVID year, this is my 12th year. It'll be the 11th season because we lost the COVID season. But if you go year wise, it's my 12th year.
Fantastic. That's incredible. The time flies when you're having fun. I'll tell you, you got done a good job. A lot of good players have played on that field, or the other Bob Mudge field. A lot of great players and a lot of great managers. You take your shot. You line up right with them. All those guys. I mean, I had Ray Wright as a coach for my 3 years, and I know that a lot of people had Bob Mudge at one time, and then after that, who was it? Who was it in the '60s, late '60s?
So there was in that picture, because it was kind of funny because I noticed it because the guy's name was Wright, so it said Coach Wright. So obviously, people like, hey, what's Coach Reed? How old is Coach Reed? You know what I mean?
How old is he?
The spelling almost is the exact same. So. But it's a totally different, how you say the name. But from the pictures, I do remember Wright as a coach. I'm not sure his first name was Ray. You said,
Ray Wright. Yeah, passed away now.
And then after him, I'm not sure who it was for a while. I know Coach Reed was in 1981 was his first. He coached baseball a long time, and I'm not sure if people realize that because he coached football as a head coach. I think it was 95 to 2015, so it was 20 years football coach, but it was a lot longer for baseball. He did end up giving up baseball first. That's when Coach Cahoon took over, right? Because when I was there, Coach Cahoon was our JV coach. But yeah, Coach Reed was 1981 to about had to be 2005 around there. Yeah.
Think about that.
And they were in Division I for a handful of years because Coach Reed had a bunch of great teams in the 90s. My year was 2000 because Coach Reed won a state championship in 92, but he won a lot of division championships. I know Jerry Alth's group in 97, 98 around there won a couple divisions. We won in 2000 a Southern Division championship. After my year 2000, they got moved up to Division I, and that was a very good team. If that 2001 team was in Division II, they would have had a great shot at winning the championship with Corey Popolowski. With all these kids were juniors when I was a senior, so there was only me and George Serra were the only 2 seniors in 2000 that were consistent everyday players. We had a couple like pitching specialists. Justin McMahon was just a pitcher. Chris Robertson was a closer type of player, and then Matt McGrath, who in the offseason hurt his shoulder, who was our starting center fielder, which really hurt because we still had a great team, and we didn't even have our starting center fielder because he couldn't throw because he hurt his shoulder doing something, and so he DH'd a little bit. So we only had 5 seniors. 2 of them, me and George, played consistently. That junior class was excellent, and I think they would have had a great.
What year was that?
2000. So 2001 would have been the year after me when they had Corey Popolowski, Sam Fazaro was the catcher, Aaron Blibin, Mike Nadeau was a great pitcher. And the thing with Mike, when we were junior, when I was a senior and he was a junior, one of the biggest reasons we didn't win a state championship is he got hurt with a few weeks left in the season. and he got hit with a comebacker. It was to his hand, and unfortunately, he never came back that season. And we were hoping he'd come back for the playoffs. He just wasn't ready. And it's a big difference when you don't have your number one pitcher going into the playoffs. So I think we ended up losing in the semifinals around there. We won our first round against Rogers.
That's incredible.
But yeah, but going back,
remember that.
But going back to the following year, they got moved up to Division I, and they were very competitive, just like kind of like similar to how we were last year. If you're in Division II at that point, I think they had a great chance of winning the whole thing. Yeah. But they got moved up to Division I. So,
well, the funny thing is, that's when Lou Mazzucci and I started the sports report, and we used to go to every game. I mean, we had an agreement. If he wasn't going to go, I was going to go. So that's unbelievable. I had kind of forgotten about all those great teams.
Yeah, because I mean, I was let's see, and there was a lot of competition back then. So when I was a sophomore, I was decent, but there was Chris Gingarelli, and he had a twin brother, but Chris was the catcher. So me and George was a varsity player his whole sophomore year. After the JV season ended, me and I think it was Matt McGrath, because he wasn't hurt yet. He didn't get hurt till after. Joined the varsity roster. And I remember, catching Jerry off when he was a senior.
He was good, huh?
Yeah, I caught him in, warming up, and I got in a little bit in the last game of the season, because when the playoff game they were down, when they got knocked out in the playoffs, we were down a good amount of runs in the last inning. So Coach Reed put a lot of younger guys in. But yeah, the great teams that they had. Jerry Off his senior year in the playoffs seemed like every other bat he was hitting a home run. I haven't seen anything like it since. I think he ended up with at least 8 to 10 his senior year, which is pretty unheard of. I mean, you have great hitters, and in the last few years, we've had 2 state championships, and no one came close to hitting that many home runs. I mean, Jack had a few. I think Jack actually had more as sophomore.
Jack Canuta.
But he still had a very Jack actually probably hit one of the farthest balls I've ever seen, though, in Charahoe, up on they don't have a fence in left field. They have the woods there. Yeah. And Jack put one, at least 30 feet into those trees, and in my estimate, it had to go close to 400 feet. And I'm sure some of those guys from the 60s probably hit one just as far with what's his name there?
George Greer.
George Greer, I'm sure hit a few.
They were a little bit foul.
Yeah, and I don't even think there was a fence there, right? In center was the school. From back at the old Babcock field there.
Center field was 520 feet. Yeah. And left field was 365. Yeah. Right field was 333. Mm-hmm. But it angled out quite a bit. So it was very difficult to hit home runs. I mean, the farthest I've seen at the old Ward Field, which became the Bob Munch Field. I think some other guys may have a different memory, but I remember a guy played for the Vagabonds. His name was McCarthy. I think it was John McCarthy or Jack McCarthy. He hit the Christmas tree that was out in Gencarelli's yard. Yeah, it was against Hilltops too. It was in a Sunday afternoon. It was about 100 degrees. I remember that. But not too many. Bobby Vitro, I know he hit one about 380, 390 over there used to be a gate out there. I don't know if you remember that gate. There was a gate out in left center.
And this was at what field was this one at?
Bob Munch Field.
All right.
Yeah.
That's the name of they named the middle school field after him.
Oh, they did.
Because they must have got rid of the old one. Because where's the field now? That was the Bob Munch Field.
Oh, it's the quad.
It's the quad now. Okay, yeah. So that makes sense that that was nice that they named it the new middle school field after him.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because
one thing that was actually pretty cool, because the middle school team, there wasn't the first middle school team. I think there was middle school baseball a long time ago, but then there wasn't a team for like 25, 30 years. The first year that they brought the team back was when I was in 8th grade. Oh, so we got the town fixed up the quad, which is now the quad. Right. And they actually made it into a beautiful baseball field again. We played our home games for middle school at Babcock. Really? And then once they started to make the new middle school, they kind of let the field go. And then they just planted grass again. So,
okay, so where the quad is now?
Yeah, they fixed it just for the middle school for a few years.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. And then it went back to being all grass because the new middle school field, which is pretty nice. I mean, it's a nice little field down at the middle school. And I remember the ceremony because me and Eric Collins was the head coach at the time, and I was the assistant in 2000 and I think it was 2006. Maybe 2005. No, 2006.
Yeah, a lot of things. Once they started with the quad, and then they remodeled or reconstructed the high school, high school itself, where Federico Gym is. Then they went down to where the Babcock. I call it Babcock. I guess it's Babcock Hall now.
Yeah, it still is. Yeah.
It took them over, but I think they tackled the. If I'm not mistaken, I think they tackled the quad first. They tore everything up, and they like that was all level. And that was the football field that I played on. It was a football field.
Yeah,
and the one end was the going towards was the east. One was going towards the west, where the Babcock is now. And hello, Billy. Good morning. So I don't ever remember playing at anything other than where we call it the Bob Mudge Field, but at the time it was the Ward Avenue field. And the field where the track is now was just was the track.
Yeah,
but they didn't have a real track.
It wasn't an athletic field yet.
It really was more of just a they ran a 100-yard dash in the grass.
Yeah.
And then I think it may have been around 1973, when they actually put excuse me. They actually put a track where it is now. Where the Mixie, my brother John, Gebler, all those guys, there was a track there, and then Charlie Holdridge and he had a complement of guys who went out and raised money for the lights. The first year or two, they didn't have lights there. They went out and raised the money for them. So the place where the baseball field was still there. It was still a baseball field with a backstop. Looked like it was great. Only us old timers can remember that. So that's
and it's pretty common occasionally, like when you go to some baseball fields, that they're still part of possibly like an old football field. Like I remember Warwick Vets isn't a field isn't a team anymore. They're not a school anymore. But I remember their baseball field went into their football field for a while. The outfield was part of the football field, and they kind of used them both. That's one thing where they did have the quad. I guess you could have the baseball field on campus. Be a little tight there, but I used to kind of do it before.
I think that was the plan,
but that's the only thing with the high school, is that a couple of the they don't have any baseball fields or softball on campus, but it's a short ride to Similarity, so
that's not bad. Yeah, I just let you know the Mike Ray's and company are on their way.
Oh, excellent! We're gonna have the Division I champion girls basketball team on. Some of the players will be coming in too. He said.
Yeah, he said 2 or 3. So he said they all have other things that they do. Athletically.
Yeah, especially. So you got Saturdays. For athletes is tough because they either probably have there's AU and travel basketball going on, but then there's also the ones, if they're not doing anything, they're probably sleeping. You know what I mean? Because you don't get too many, especially football, and during the season, it's we do have practice. Obviously on 9:30 usually for football. So, but if there's something not going on, they're usually sleeping. So it's not easy to get some of these kids up, especially they're getting up at 6 whatever every day for school, and then they have 2 days to kind of sleep a little bit. But also some of them are still grinding their basketball and AU basketball and everything going on. So some of them are getting up early. They're just busy playing sports.
There's lacrosse now.
Lacrosse started too. Yeah, lacrosse. They started the same this past week.
Okay, so that's another thing that.
Yeah, and I'm sure they probably do have practice today. We'll find out because we're gonna do baseball. We're practicing at 10 a.m. today. We're actually gonna hit inside at Babcock, and then depending on if there's anybody on the football field, we're gonna do some fielding on the football field. If lacrosse isn't on there, we'll see.
I see. Yeah. So it's girls and boys lacrosse?
Yep. Yeah, there's girls and boys lacrosse. Wow. Both have been pretty successful the past 10 years because I know early on when I first started as the head coach of baseball lacrosse, they won a Division III championship pretty early on there.
Yeah.
Because
I do remember that. Yeah.
When lacrosse was getting a little growing in Westerly, people are kind of getting nervous. So, it's going to take away from football. From baseball.
Of course.
Because there's definitely athletes, just great athletes that play lacrosse. That if there wasn't lacrosse, they probably would have stuck with baseball because pretty much almost everybody plays little league at some point. Whether they're playing t-ball and then stop, or they go through the minors and majors and they stop when they're 12. Some continue on, but yeah, the lacrosse definitely has some of the best athletes in the school playing, and it would be nice to have some of them for baseball. But as the years went on, there's still that core group of baseball kids in town that come up every single year, and obviously the baseball is still very alive in Westerly because in 2022. Winning our first state championship since 1992, and then 2 years later, winning it again, and also having lacrosse be successful because I think they won a Division III championship around the same time we won baseball. So it's pretty impressive when a small school is winning championships in two spring sports.
I know
they're competing with each other. So hey, there's this coach right now. So
okay, let's get going. All right,
and I think we're gonna give them the couch. All set.
Yeah, girls. How we doing?
I'm sure.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing, girls?
Still at, let me see. One of you girls is it one of you girls at Westerly?
No.
Okay, Savannah. Santana. Danica. Okay.
Ella.
Oh, you're okay. How could I not get that one? All right.
I'm good. They got it on them anyway, so it doesn't matter.
All right, so we're good to go. We just wanted to have you here and just to tell you how happy and that we are and all that in representing the people in the town of Westerly who have really come to almost fall in love with you kids because you guys did such a great job. And like Ron, you can jump in anytime you want. We both watched the whole game Sunday, and I watched it on Saturday, but I was actually there on Sunday, so it was not a thrill.
Yeah, no, it was tough, but
it was.
We just said it's part of sports. I mean, we just talked in the last interview. I mean, we made the big shot on Saturday, to put us in the final, and then we were on the short end of it on Sunday. And that's kind of how sports go. That's why you love sports. You have those opportunities. And we did everything we could and we come up short, but that's kind of part of life. Doesn't always go your way.
Yeah. And it is a team that, did something that no one really has ever done before. So the first, Division I championship. And, we talked about this last time you were on now, other than a little bit of a track person here or there. Right. It's probably the school's first Division I championship in any sport, which is pretty amazing, especially how the school's really kind of shrunk over the past 20 years. It's told we're down to 590 students. So pretty amazing, and the game, even though he came up short of it, it was an amazing game to watch.
You have to give Barrington credit. I mean, we still haven't watched it, We will
Oh,
someday.
it's tough. I know.
They made a lot of shots in the second half. They really did. They didn't miss. I mean, I did look at their shooting percentage in the second half, and they didn't miss. I mean, so you got to give them credit.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
They played really well. But to go to Ronnie's point, we're a small school, and the other thing, I don't know if we had mentioned it last time, but like these are all Westerly girls.
Yeah.
Pontigansett, all those girls are from different towns. They're not all from
Really?
Pontigansett. Yeah. Barrington, some of their best players were not from Barrington.
Yeah.
So Portsmouth was the only school in that Final Four that, for the most part, those girls are all from Portsmouth.
So how do they do that, Mike? I know that they
Pathways.
Yeah.
Pathways.
pathway.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
that's
all the
they're doing.
schools have different. They call them pathways, opportunities to take certain courses that maybe you couldn't take at your local high school, and you can go to a different school. I mean, Westerly has pathways.
Yeah. It's hard because with the pathways, I don't think you can cross states.
Right.
So because we're on the border,
Right.
that hurts us.
Right.
And then with the other part of Rhode Island, Charo is pretty well known for their tech
Yes.
program and
Yeah,
stuff. So how many are actually going to come past there?
Correct.
And then if it was, it would be probably for sports only.
Right.
Right. Because I'm nothing against the Charo guys.
Right. Right.
But I think our sports are a little better right now, and for the most part.
Right.
And but it's still it's a haul to get kids down there. So you got to really want to play for Westerly, and not how many out of town players are going to do that. Hey,
Hey,
Calvin.
Calvin, how you doing? What's going on, man? I love you, brother.
Love you too. That's why I came over here. As soon as Coach said Sal, I said I got to go over there and see him real quick. That's my dude.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun.
We didn't get
Been doing it for a long time. Of course, you know Coach Pizzato, I think.
of course.
Yeah, just a little bit about
I know football's got lifted a little bit. I got baseball too. So but good thing we got some
all
good
these
assistant
ladies?
coaches.
I know this one. I remember when she was little, right? When Mello was, I think he was on the seniors playing football, and Chubb was
Wow.
no, Mello was with the juniors, and Chubb was with the micros. But I remember her in the field. She was a little big girl.
Yeah.
So as soon as he said Hamlin, I'm like, wait a minute. I hadn't seen her in a long time. So it was good to see. It was good to see all of them.
Now, when you play one-on-one with your brothers, can you take them one-on-one? Or they're pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah, they are good. So I get to foul, but they don't.
Hard foul too.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta go see these horses. I'll see y'all later.
All right.
All right, man. Love it, man.
Yeah.
Coach is always a pleasure. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye.
We can get
Yeah.
them on the action, see what their how the season went for you guys. It's a lot of stuff that we don't see. Practicing every day and all the hard work that goes into it. We only see what's on the court there. So, just talk a little bit about the best part of your season, what you like the best. It could even have been off court stuff, hanging out with your friends. I don't know.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Danica.
I mean, we definitely spent a lot of time together. It really depended on who wanted to go, but we spent a lot of time traveling to the boys' away games, coming together to the boys' home games. We did
That's good.
mostly getting food together.
Yeah.
A lot of us spent a lot of time outside of basketball too, because it was such a great group of girls, and no one was. It was not separated at all. It was just a great group.
Yeah, a lot of togetherness. I could tell just from watching you guys on the sideline. Of course, watching you I wasn't that far from the sideline on Sunday, and if you've lived as long as I have, if you've lived as long as I have, you've seen as many basketball games as I've had, and football, and baseball. I mean, my heart was broken just as much, almost as much as yours was. I mean, I grew up at the high school where Federico Gym is now. Was the practice football field, and I would live right across the street from there. So I just said, this is going to be a tough one. So, but they did well, though. It's hard to believe.
Yeah, and one of the things that was the Barrington, they pretty much came and earned it. I mean, it's not really much that you guys did to give the game away. I mean, they just hit all their shots, and that 3-pointer was pretty amazing. I mean,
my wife said to me, she said, "Watch that redhead." So I didn't even think of it. I didn't even think of it, but she ended up.
She can shoot.
There'll be some battles, I'm sure, in the next couple of
Yeah,
years too.
so
They're pretty young
return,
too.
Yeah, they returned pretty much their whole team, and Portsmouth returns their team. Pontigansett, all 4 teams that were in the finals, pretty much everybody's back next year. So,
Isn't that something, huh?
yeah, yep, very young talent in the state.
You guys all coming back? How about you?
There's one senior.
Yeah,
I just kidding.
Danica just announced. Go ahead, Danica.
I just committed to major in nursing at the University of Rhode Island.
Oh, that's a good program.
Yeah.
That's
Really
one of the
good.
best.
Excited
All
for
right,
her.
Danica, that's great. I have to take some issue. I don't really want to really bring it up, but I felt that the officiating was a little bit less than
There were some calls
Yeah.
maybe that could have gone our way that might have, stemmed the tide a little bit, slowed down their run. But again, that's sports, right? You don't always get things to go your way.
If you had made the shots,
A couple of those shots drop, and it's a different story.
I
But
know.
we learn from it, or hopefully we learn from it, and and get better.
That was like our playoff baseball loss last year, Smithfield. We it was probably one of the worst calls at first base on 3-2.
Oh my! Everybody was
when you
jumping out of
when you stop the camera, you have Grayson's foot on first base, and the ball's about 8 feet from the pitcher's,
that was
from the first baseman's glove. But then when you look back on how we played, though, defensively we made 7 errors, so it doesn't. We probably shouldn't even have been in that spot. But you got to look at how we did it ourselves too, and if we don't make a couple of those errors, we probably win.
You try not to. We all remember
calls
that.
happen either way.
Right.
So.
We remember that last shot, but there's so many other things
Yeah.
throughout that whole game that, if we had done this or that or whatever. But
always second guessing.
correct.
One little thing against good teams, and then that's all that could. That's the difference. From basketball's been in Division I for a few years now, right?
Yeah.
Been there a while. Baseball, that was our first year last year, and the biggest difference is you make one little mistake and you're not going to win.
Division.
We're in Division II,
Right.
especially Division III. But in Division II, you can make a few more. There's a couple more walks, maybe an extra error here or there. But Division I, there, you're playing against teams like North Kingston, Bishop Henrigan. Bishop Henrigan's number like 4 in New England right now for baseball, so can't make any mistakes against them.
Correct.
So.
Yeah, Westerly did come close to winning Division I. It was back, I think it was 2013, maybe.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, they. That's
the only other time they had won Division II, and then the next year they were moved up to Division I, and they made it to the final.
Almost,
and they lost to LaSalle.
Yeah. Ali Misto was a coach.
Yep. So they had a great group.
And I was already celebrating. We're gonna do it. Man, I'll tell you, they were tough. Barrington was tough, and they could shoot the ball, and they played defense. They played a little rough, but hey, that's the game, right? I mean, bet you guys probably have you really been thinking about it, or you should be proud of it. You should be proud of it.
It takes a couple of days. It's
It's
probably one
hard
of the
to,
worst
like,
days of the year, probably.
come over that and think about all the other successes we've had throughout the season.
I
But
know.
once you look back at how much we've done, it really is great.
It was a long week.
Yeah, it was
It's a lot of
2
games.
weeks.
A lot of games in a short period of
Yeah,
time.
we were tired.
They really smushed that in there.
Yeah, it happened to me and my team, and some guys that were even better than me, and we did it, and it's all we thought about for it was more than 2 weeks. It was like for years we still would bring it up and talk about all the little plays that the calls that the coach didn't make, we thought, or the team didn't make. We could have done a little bit better here, but that's part of the game. Part of growing up.
Losing the last game, you've coached a while. Losing the last game of the season, and you feel it for a couple of days. It's probably the most depressing couple of days. Especially, thankfully on Thanksgiving we've won 8 years in a row. But I just remember even being an assistant on Thanksgiving games when we lose, and I wouldn't even want to go to school for a few days.
Yeah, this is
You guys all go to school the next day because you had school the next day. That must have been a tough.
Some of them might have a
I
spring.
did.
I did.
That had to be
spring
rough.
spring
I was
sports
sports.
going on.
we made a
Oh, you're forced to go.
we love this time of year as a basketball family. My wife and I met during March Madness, so we love March Madness in these games. But honestly, Thursday, there's a couple of the buzzer beaters, and then even yesterday, I'm not excited about it because it just brings back what happened on Sunday. We'll get over it, but it's
We got the picture of you and your wife. After
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
That was weird.
so-
No, that was a
right.
good
So like
picture.
I said at the beginning of the interview, we went from one high to the other.
Yeah.
So yeah, that shot that Kevin Emery, thanks, he took that picture. That was perfect. I couldn't believe it. So couldn't
Yes.
believe it.
There'll be a lot of things, and as you get older, that
Right,
you get
right,
disappointed,
right,
and
right,
it's
right.
good lessons when they're young
Yes.
to kind of. You're not always gonna get what you want, and
Right.
even if you work harder than everybody
Correct.
else, you still might not get what you want. So
Hey, you beat some tough teams this year.
yeah, that was a great run, man.
Moses Brown. I mean, geez, you can't really
One team they lost to, man.
That's it.
one
Yep.
twice.
Barrington, yeah. The early one, who knows about that? Things changed so much from December to,
Right.
even though the game was still probably just as exciting.
No, they're amazing. To sit back and think what they did is amazing.
Yeah, Coach, you must got to be proud of everyone. You've got about 15 kids on that roster.
Yep. And so the wins are amazing. The season, the Division I championship, but I kind of said it last time. Like just coaching them every day was actually the best part. Really was. They're just amazing kids, great teammates, fun to coach. Worked hard, did whatever we asked, and it was awesome. It's sad that the season's over.
I know, and that's right. You guys probably, you're a basketball junkie. We know that. Now, how do you get along with your father? And then you throw on top of that, you got your mother. So you don't really have anywhere to hide.
I'm kind of used to it by now. They've been coaching me like my whole life, and like I know they're gonna yell at me and stuff, but I have my teammates behind my back. Like when I come out and get yelled at in the first 2 minutes, like they're all like telling me, "You're fine, you're okay, like you'll be fine." So really having my teammates has been helpful.
I think Danica has probably some good stories she could share outside of camera about what's said on the bench.
Yeah. Oh wow.
She's
Yeah. Really.
Mrs. Reyes, and she hears what she says sometimes.
She just lets anything come out, but no, you're always turning around telling her to calm down. Yeah,
Is he a good guy? Good coach?
absolutely.
Yeah. How about you? You got your mom too.
Yeah. We get along sometimes. Practice, she'll yell at me. Sometimes I'll yell back, but it's good to have her. I've never had like my parent coach me, so just to have her by my side, like through the wins, it felt nice.
Yeah.
I think we'll appreciate it more when they're older.
Yeah.
And we can kind of sit back and look back at how special this is. It's not, we're lucky. We're lucky to be able to coach our kids.
Yeah, that's true.
And Westerly is a place where it happens, somewhat often.
Right.
I mean, there's several sports that have either assistants or head coaches with kids, and it's always done the right way too.
Yeah.
Like, it obviously helps when the kid's one of the better players on the team.
Right.
And
It's
so you don't have to worry about like parents or
it's
anything
a
like
tricky
that.
balance.
It's when those like
Absolutely.
borderline is when like that,
Right.
but they've done such a great job with just coaching the team as if it wasn't even
Right.
your child
Right.
on the team. I mean, I have two coaches on the football staff that have kids, and you wouldn't even know.
Right.
So
I think kind of Santana and Ella mentioned it. Like they were probably harder on them, than everybody else. So it evens it out.
Yeah.
except during the half,
Sure.
except during early
Yeah.
the third quarter of the Super Bowl, where Landon was unsure if he was going back in, and if you saw him on the headset, that was his dad talking to him. That was more like a dad to son thing. Like you need to get back in the game if you can do it. So
Yeah, I'm sure that happens. Yeah, with your guys too.
Galen did a great job.
Your guys too. Now it's I always wonder looking over there, and it was just a lot of fun all year round watching you guys play. It's just amazing,
One of the biggest things I saw, the defense was amazing. There's so many steals and even off the dribble or just intercepted passes, whatever you guys call it in basketball.
You guys practice that?
We practice.
Yeah.
Girls-
Defense
let 'em
mainly,
talk about it.
mainly that's what we practice. Like that's our Westerly basketball. Like defense comes first before anything. Defense leads to offense, rebounding. Everything comes from defense.
Yeah,
Defense wins championships.
that's true. You said that quite a bit, and it is true. That's unbelievable. You ladies have really made us all proud. And I know you got this team. You're losing how many? What, 3 or 4?
Five seniors.
Five.
Yep.
Losing 5 seniors, but you're coming back with maybe 10 or 11 ladies who are really gonna if they stick it out and they don't get hurt, that's another thing. Getting
Yeah,
hurt.
you never know. Things change every year, so there's no
hopefully
there's no
basketball is not too
guarantees.
many, but you never
Right?
know.
There's no guarantees. So you just take every day as it is and try to get better and see what happens.
Mike? How's this team with their studies? You don't have any problem with that, right?
No, not at all. These girls are amazing. I don't know. Dr. Gatcho, on the last interview, he said last week he was actually looking at the honor roll, and I think for the most part, almost the whole team was on the honor roll.
Yeah.
These girls.
Yeah.
So like I always start the year, after the first 2 weeks, I check their grades, but I didn't have to check their grades. I mean, they're just awesome kids. Again, regardless if we didn't win, it still would have been an amazing year.
Yeah. Then it's on a URI, one of the top
Very good
college
for nurses.
Nursing programs, right?
programs
Absolutely.
in New England. That's great.
Yep.
And I'm sure there'd be more with other fields. I just wanted to get you together and we could ask questions for a million, about what happened here. We're not going to do that. We just, I mean, you're going to remember them eventually, and you'll see that hey, what really matters is that you went out and actually did what you did this year. I mean, 26-2, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Proud of,
That's a school record too. 26 wins.
26 wins and 2 losses.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
And to, I wish we could have enjoyed it more, but to think back the amount of people that were at that game on Sunday, the town, the community that really supported these girls is amazing. It's same thing for the football Super Bowl. Like so many people did, like the whole town was just on fire, and it's really cool.
Yeah, one of the things to look back on from the Super Bowl, because when they had us in the locker room, like it opens underneath the standing, the bleachers, and at the outside is where the gate was.
Yeah.
So we're kind of waiting for our time to go on the field, and we could see everybody in town just kind of walking through, and it was strange because it was like right before a game, but everybody saying hi and shaking hands like you already won a game, or good luck and all that. So it was great seeing everybody there, and I watched the basketball game on NFHS, but when they would pan the crowd, it was it was a huge crowd.
It was good. It was
a bigger crowd there than at the home games.
Yeah, it was big. It was really big. I would say somewhere around 1,500, maybe even more. I'm just guessing. There was 2 sections that were filled up, and people were. It was much more enthusiasm on the Westerly side. I thought, and then of course Barrington got enthused when they started to catch up. But I think the Westerly crowd was really there for you ladies, and I think that you're going to make people happy for a long time to come, even if you don't want to play sports anymore. Your grades are always good, but I think we're all kind of looking forward to another great season, and that's can't come soon enough for me. But you guys probably just want to relax for a little
so
while.
Getting used to being on camera with Rube's report there. I mean, you were a couple times.
Oh yeah,
you were there.
Yeah.
And it's good seeing him at games. Even though it's only Providence Journal, but he's like, he does a good job with covering sports and kind of making it fun.
Kids, he's great, and that's all the little stuff when you can step back and think about all the opportunities and all the things they've done this year, and then all this. We're talking to you guys, talking to Dr. Gatchone. We just talked about the credit union wants to take them out to dinner. As a team celebration. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat.
Well, that's great, and I think when you guys won the division, wasn't there a cavalcade of buses a couple of buses?
Oh yeah, you got the whole thing going on.
Right?
Fire trucks.
Back in town.
I know because I saw it and I got in my car and I was too late, so that was another fun thing.
Yeah, still heard Kristen Federico's video. She was screaming the whole time. It's great to see that, and be a part of it too.
That spirit.
Playing in both of those arenas,
I know.
We brought them there as 8th graders to URI, and we talked about someday maybe you could play on this floor, and they played there twice.
Imagine that.
Play at the AMP. You guys can talk about the AMP.
That's great in Providence. How's that?
Tell us about the AMP.
It was great, honestly. To have the opportunity to play in a place like that, and just have, Santana said in our last interview, the big screen above us, it was awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
They got to go in the we
In
got
the
to use
locker room?
the
Yeah.
PC locker room.
Yeah.
Like they walked
Yeah.
in there. I wish we had video of their faces. Like they went nuts.
Oh
So
boy.
I was worried we were going to be able to get them back focused on the game because they were so excited in there. It was pretty cool.
That was the final, right?
That was the final. Yep.
Yeah, that was
It was
great.
amazing.
And then you had a few more games after that, but I'll tell you one thing: don't ever feel that you let anybody down. You didn't let your coaches down. You didn't let your families down. You didn't let the town down. Everybody is just really, really proud of what took place over
No,
there.
huge accomplishment.
Unbelievable. You know,
I mean, if they were if this was any other state, they would have been in a smaller division and probably gone undefeated.
that's right.
So everyone has to realize, Division One, it's such a huge difference. So it's amazing the work you guys did.
Anything else, Mike?
Girls, anything? No.
You're kind of quiet.
Yeah.
We always would end up when I was over at the PLQ. We always end up with asking the girls about if there was a prom or something. But there's no prom. There's no proms coming up.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I did have to move a baseball game because the junior prom was on one of our games.
Wow.
So.
They're a little young for that though, right? Oh, except for Dan.
No.
Senior prom's like the second week of June. It's a little later.
Yeah.
She's.
You already know when it is, though, right, Ron?
Yeah, it was May 21st around there is the junior prom, maybe the 22nd.
This is an exciting time for Danica. Basketball's over now. She can start focusing on wrapping up her senior year and getting ready for college.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of good things.
No lacrosse.
No, I never played.
Oh, yeah.
Just soccer, basketball. Yeah.
There are a lot of kids that play.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why most of them, aren't here because they're either at lacrosse practice or track. Or a lot of the girls, the game ended Sunday and they had practice on Monday.
That's unbelievable.
Spring practice on Monday is kind of
It
crazy.
starts right away.
Yeah.
And especially with the basketball going late because of the state tournament they started.
Yep.
Yeah, the game didn't get over till about 7, right?
Yeah,
6:30, 7 o'clock. By the time you got home, why did they start it so late?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the schedule is really to get teams into the AMP and into the Ryan Center. Like everything's kind of dictated on getting the high school teams in there and when those facilities are available. So that's Sunday the games are so late because the cheerleading championships were in the morning at the Ryan Center.
Oh, okay.
And I'm hoping they also because you just play the night before and try to give you a little bit more
right.
But to play back to back. But just real quickly, Danica played in 4 division soccer finals in her career.
Wow.
So she's had an amazing athletic career at Westerly.
Yeah, I thought I knew you from somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's gonna be missed.
Oh wow. All right, ladies.
Your mom was in my grade, my class. They're very, very similar. You guys look a lot alike that year.
Oh my God. My goodness.
Jill, right?
This is so much. Now what the Parker girls, you've got
I have Jack. Yeah.
Jack,
The twins, right?
Twins.
Yeah.
twins, yeah.
Another great family.
Yep.
Jaden, the older brother there won a baseball
That's
championship.
part of the community, but a lot of the kids that play on this team, the families have been amazing. So supportive of. You can't do it without supportive families. If you're changing practices, keeping them longer, doing events outside of practice, and the families have to support what you're doing to get the girls there. And you can only go so far with that if you don't have that support.
And there's so many names on the girls' team where either parents were very good players at Westerly or other siblings. It was pretty amazing with all the names that are familiar to everybody too.
Yeah. It's very cool.
All the Westerly names.
Yeah, we know about all those names, right, Ron?
Yeah.
Boy, I'll tell you, guys are making me, reminisce, and then I get a little. I won't say it, but listen, we don't want to hold you because I know that you guys are probably tired. You have a couple of people yawning there. Ladies yawning.
Get them up
Early,
early.
I told you.
Yeah, had to get 'em
It's
up.
tough.
Yeah, because Ron and I are never tired, right, Ron?
Yeah, I can make it there
And
sometimes.
Mike,
Thank you.
for bringing
No,
these ladies here, but also
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for
Thank you.
being a part of Westerly High School's sports lore, LORE, and doing what you did. I mean, this is an amazing feat, and hopefully, you'll stay for at least another 2 or 3 years.
There's some good younger kid.
I have younger girls. I have 2 other.
Oh
younger
my
girls.
God, that's right. I forgot about that.
As long as Jamie will have me,
The younger.
You'll be here.
I'll be here.
All right, that's good.
Got some good players coming up in a couple of years too, so it shouldn't be a
we got a lot of
drop
girls.
off at all.
Yeah. So hopefully keep
Man.
it going.
Yeah.
So thank you guys.
We could talk all
Yeah,
morning.
thanks for
Yeah.
coming, guys.
Thanks for coming.
Thank
All right.
We could talk all morning. Go ahead. Oh,
All right.
Thank you.
Got practice too, so going.
I gotta go
See you
move.
later.
yeah.
Yeah, gotta go
Yeah.
move my sister-in-law into a new house, so we got all kinds of furniture we're gonna go move. So,
Oh, really?
yeah.
All right.
right.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks,
Thank
Mike.
you.
Ron,
Take it away,
Thank
Dan, wherever you are.
you. Thank you.
See you
Thanks,
later.
guys. Take care.
Take care.
It's pizza night in Westerly. Mario's is where I want to be. It's pizza night in Westerly. Mario's is where I want to be. It's pizza night in Westerly. Mario's is where I want to be. It's pizza night in Westerly. Mario's is where I want to be. It's pizza night in Westerly. Mario's is where I want to be.
I'm Dale Sold, the owner of Shoreline Painting and Cabinet Refinishing. My vision for the company has always been to elevate paint contracting. When you call, you get a live person. Typically, we have estimates out the same day. We have really good communication with our customers daily. We make sure you're completely happy before we leave the project. We service residential and commercial customers. The commercial work we do is typically more community-oriented. We just completed a expansion of our shop. We added 3 more spray booths to allow us to increase capacity. You can find us at 77 Stillman Ave in Pawcatuck. You can find us on our website at shorelinepaintingri.com, or you can call the office 401-834-1684 to book an estimate.
Ever thought about leveling up your fitness game in a fun and meaningful way? Kiefer's Martial Arts on Granite Street has everything you're looking for. Kickboxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and of course, adult karate. It's not just about getting fit, it's about building your self-confidence, discipline, and that unstoppable feeling you get from all your hard work. Stop into Kiefer's Martial Arts today to sign up.